What's up, everybody? Mike here, and in this video I've got some major new details that have been revealed about Black Myth Wukong. Some really cool stuff to go in here, including no difficulty options for the game, as well as some other details based on a tweet from Twitter/X. So yeah, let's dig into this and find out what is going on more with this game. This is a highly anticipated Souls-like game RPG that is focused on the Monkey King lore, and I'm very excited for it. So, Black Myth Wukong confirms that it will not have difficulty options, a decision that has left many players intrigued and divided. Highly anticipated ARPG from Game Science has caused a stir with the latest decision, as they had previously stated it would not be a Souls-like, but this latest announcement undoubtedly brings it closer to this niche. So they make it seem like it's not a Souls-like, but it is technically going to be a Souls-like in some regard. I've heard reports that it's supposed to be similar like to Star Wars Jedi, which is kind of like a Souls-like as well. And I mean that in terms of difficulty, challenge. Since its official announcement in 2020 with an alpha that promised something seemingly unattainable, Black Myth Wukong has captured attention for its focus on action and Souls-like elements, challenging even the most experienced players. Although the game is not strictly labeled as a Souls-like, but rather as an action RPG with touches of the subgenre, initial impressions during the Summer Games Fest highlighted the intensity and complexity of its confrontations, pointing to a game as challenging as a few others. However, among the things Game Science has said we can and cannot expect once it launches on August 20th is the classic difficulty selection menu. According to them, Black Myth Wukong will come with a single difficulty level, promising a balanced experience for all players, both veteran lovers of intense challenges and those seeking a more moderate experience. In this case, the Chinese development studio seems to lean more towards the concept of a Souls-like, a genre that, by a structure of definition, is limited to a single standard difficulty level, compared to other similar ARPGs on the market. However, they have made it abundantly clear that they do not advocate being just another game in the genre headed by Dark Souls. Even so, Game Science's debut stands out for its cleverness in providing a precise balance between challenge and reward, according to initial impressions. Unfortunately, Game Science, is doing something very weird as well, too. So, they have faced recent criticism due to the news that Black Myth Wukong will be released later on Xbox than PC and PS5. So if you don't know, this is basically when it comes out August 20th, it'll be on PC, PS5 first, but then a few months or so later, it will arrive on Xbox Series. So that's unfortunate. And another weird move they're doing is they confirmed that a physical edition of the game will not include a physical disc, but only a code to redeem on the console. That is such a weird move, and I don't know. I mean, I know it's somewhat a new studio, it's an indie dev, and maybe don't have the money or resources yet to make physical copies, but I don't know, that's not gonna make a lot of players happy, especially with us. A lot of us want our physical media still to be intact. We don't want to be only digital only, because then that leads us to believe that it can be taken away at any time, be delisted, just be made unavailable at a whim, without much notice at all. So it sucks. It really sucks with how this is and the world we live in when it comes to this stuff. But aside from that, there's been some other details that have been noted on Twitter by German Strands here, his tweet. So, looks like new Black Myth Wukong info. No open world. There are hidden paths and bosses. Story is linear and easy to follow. Different chapters and levels within them. Side missions. Choices with consequences. After each boss, you can read his story as well, apparently. Memorable characters. Polished down to the last detail. Creativity is the key in combat. Wukong is a very humorous character as well, apparently. You can defeat enemies without violence. Now, that's something I'm really intrigued about, how they're going to incorporate that. Like, what is the method you do, in this particular game to defeat enemies without violence? Like, are you just somehow just avoid them altogether, or you just knock them out some way? Like, I'm just wondering about that. So we'll find out obviously more when the game launches on that regard. Difficulty more in line with Jedi Fallen Orders. So this was what I was kind of touched on before, where I've read and heard reports that like the difficulty is going to be something like Jedi Fallen Orders or Star Wars Jedi. So that's fine with me. That was fairly challenging on a first playthrough if you play on normal mode anyway. So yeah, I'm not complaining about that. And then obviously they note the no difficulty options, which just went into a bit ago. And then bosses are quick and brutal, which makes sense. Normal enemies are weak in comparison. Looks fantastic, but also plays incredibly smoothly. So that's really good. That's really good. Especially, I think this is being developed with Unreal Engine 5. And I know there's been some games that use Unreal Engine 5 that have been hit and miss in terms of performance and other optimization issues. So I'm really hoping that this is going to be fantastic overall in terms of gameplay mechanics, the smoothness of it, the fluidity of animations, character movement, bosses, things like that. So very cool stuff here. Definitely more hype for this and looking forward to this. And even though the devs are not saying it's a Souls-like, it definitely has Souls-like elements to it for sure. And don't expect this to be, you know, open world or too crazy in that regard. Level design might not even be Metroidvania-ish like how Bloodborne has been and other Souls games have been, where the level design is just like connected to each area, things like that. So it doesn't seem they're going that route either. And it's just gonna be very linear. But I also hope they don't necessarily go the Neo route either, where it's just very mission based and level design is not not super great in that regard. So yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, there's still the speculation of the demo possibly happening later this month. I did a video on that not too long ago, that there's maybe a demo that might be released later this month, which would be very good if they do that. It would make sense to get more people hyped for it. Give us like an hour or two of a demo playtime, you know, give us, you know, the first boss or first 3 bosses in some way, or maybe a side boss and 2 main bosses type of thing they can do. Something like that. You know, give us a few missions or quests to do. Just give us a slice of the game, see how it feels, see how it runs. So hopefully that does come to fruition and we can play a demo of this game, a public demo that is, for us as consumers, instead of, you know, it just being regulated to behind the scenes type demos with certain content creators and other sources, things of the like. So yeah. But exciting stuff here regardless. Game Science, I don't know what the heck you're doing with the whole physical edition thing. That's a bad call, you know, bad move in my opinion. Like, people don't want just a code with a physical edition. No, like, I hate that they start doing this in gaming in general, where they get even collector's editions. Like, you got a lot of collector's editions that now come with the digital code of the game. They don't even come with a physical copy of the game anymore. Many of them don't, at least. And so it's just crazy how this has happened and what it's turned into. Yeah, but it is what it is. It's the world we live in. Hopefully they fix this at some point. I don't know if it will happen though. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below though. Sound off. Are you excited for this? Are you unhappy about this? What are you hoping this game adds to it that hasn't already been talked about? You know, or what do you think is going to happen with the way you cannot kill enemies? Like, you don't have to kill them, basically. So yeah, love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. Would appreciate it. Help push the video up to get more people checking it out. Subscribe if you're new. My name is Mike. Thanks for watching.